Hey everyone, I'm Drew Willis. I'm the creative director at Time Magazine for Kids. Thanks for coming, and welcome to Teaching Creativity with Draw with Drew and Rosie. I'm going to keep this kind of informal. If you guys have questions or something, you can always shout out, but let's get this thing started. The first thing that happened was yesterday my mom texted me to tell me that creativity was an innate ability and that it's not a teachable skill, which I was like, oh, thanks for blowing up my South by Southwest presentation. I appreciate that. But then I thought about it a little bit more, and I felt like fostering creativity was probably a more accurate statement. And the more I reflected on it, the more I thought that kids are really innately creative. That it's so much easier to think outside the box when your mind hasn't been put in the box yet. So our job as educators is to create a fertile environment where they can develop the seeds of creativity that they're born with and that they have already. So here's a quick intro to our show, if you guys haven't seen it yet. And this is Rosie.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9,
Action.
10, 11, 12.
Hi everyone, I'm Drew.
And I'm Rosie.
I'm the creative director of Time for Kids.
And my mom's the editor-in-chief. Ever since I was little, Drew's been teaching me how to draw all of my favorite things.
We figured since a lot of you are home right now, we could all learn to draw together. That's just for those of you who haven't seen it. This is Rosie. She's pretty adorable. She's like 99.9% of why this show was so awesome. So how it got started was, she and I had been exchanging drawings back and forth for years, and her mother, who's right here in the audience right now, actually was posting the results on social media. And the president of Time Magazine saw this and thought, hey, wait, this is an awesome show. You guys should be doing this show. So we kind of did a little brainstorming and put together this concept of part of the excitement that Rosie was bringing to the table with this whole project was that when she would send a drawing to me, and then she would expect me to interpret her drawing and send a version of the same thing back to her. And so a lot of thought went into how do we capture that energy on a weekly basis of her excitement and her enthusiasm and kind of preserve that and bring that to the audience, as a teaching tool. We went through, made 8 episodes, and the response was really overwhelming. It was amazing. We got over 2 million views, which is way over our expectation. And what surprised us even more was the international response, because we got hundreds of submissions of art submissions from kids all over the world, including Lebanon, South Africa, Germany, India, Singapore, New Zealand, Austria, England, Canada, Paris, Mexico, Brazil, Spain, Croatia, Czech Republic, and even some submissions from here in Austin as well. So what can teachers learn from this kind of response, and how can they bring that to their classroom? Is really the question. How do you replicate this kind of engagement? It's a good question. And I think I have the answer to it, but here we go. So to me, learning to draw is kind of similar to a meditation practice. It's hard to quantify results. Every time you're doing this, you kind of sit down, you close your eyes, you start daydreaming, all this stuff. You're kind of like, am I doing this right? Is there a purpose to this? Am I doing anything at all? Am I getting the point? But with art, progress is really slow at first, but sticking with it has incredible and immeasurable results, especially long-term effects on kids, especially their self-confidence, their sense of purpose, their overall personal development, their sense of empowerment, and of course, their sense of creativity. So we actually put together an entire magazine with all the results of kids' submissions from all over the world, which was just an incredible thing to share with kids in the classroom and all our subscribers. So I'm just kind of paging through this for you guys to see. So you can see every week we would do a different theme, and every week we would get tons of submissions from different kids. And it just seemed like the art was giving these kids this power to feel unique, which is a tough thing in this world, to feel unique, with so many people. But in order to develop these skills, you really have to get kids engaged in the process, right? I mean, let's be real, nobody is born good at art. That's just not a thing. The key is to avoid the pitfalls of impatience and frustration that we all feel in our own personal development. And the key to doing that is we need to let go of the pressures of expectation and enjoy the process of learning again. So to me, the best insulation against frustration is having fun. So that's really what I tried to bring to the show and what Rosie was very good at bringing to the show. So the good news is kids tend to bring that sense of fun and wonder to their art inherently and naturally. All we have to do as educators is to tap into that and help them preserve it. So this was our first week's drawings that we did for each other. And I like to add, like, here's where having a Rosie in your life really comes in handy, because she's just like so positive, so enthusiastic, so excited about everything. She's the type of kid who comes home from school, tells her mom, I had the best day of my life, but I'm pretty sure tomorrow's gonna be better. I don't know a lot of people like Rosie. She's pretty unique. It's a rare trait to have that kind of enthusiasm over everything, you know? But one thing that I learned while filming with her was that her attitude was really contagious. If she could pass that feeling of enthusiasm and excitement on to me, then it kind of follows that anyone can pass that enthusiasm and excitement on to anyone else that they're collaborating with. So what I realized is if I could do something to empower and engage Rosie, she would just take that and run with it. And it was just snowball and turn into this like kind of magical moment where she would just bring her like inherent enthusiasm to every project that we worked on. But it seemed like giving her control was really the key to getting her excited about things. Here's another project that we worked on where the first one was simple because it was just giraffes, and it was like, I like giraffes, so let's draw giraffes, you know? But the second episode, I think this was the fourth episode, which was about book covers. And I realized as we kind of went through this process that when I pitched show topics, Rosie was a really good sport, and she did her best to bring some energy to it. But when I let her pick a subject, her enthusiasm took over, and her work reflected a higher level of engagement. So at this point in kids' artistic development, that's everything, you know? She just needed to draw, like the act of drawing was what she needed. The subject matter was completely irrelevant. Dipping into her reservoir of personal interest gave her that sense of excitement that deepened her ability to focus on these things, which was awesome to see. Here's some more art that we did for another episode about master copies. Her name being Rosie, she wanted to do Rosie the Riveter. And I was a big fan of Norman Rockwell, so I drew the Norman Rockwell version of the same art, which was interesting just because Norman Rockwell was actually doing a master copy of Michelangelo at the same time as he was doing a master copy of the normal Rosie the Riveter. So mine's a triple master copy, and hers is just a regular master copy. Hers is pretty good, though. I was like really impressed with the quality of her art and how much she improved as the class went along. But really, the key takeaway is that it's about modifying your goals, getting away from judgment, or somehow trying to quantify results. Like, you just kind of have to let the process unfold and not really put that pressure on kids, because the second they start thinking in those terms, you know, they kind of shut down a little bit and they lose that enthusiasm. And coming back to that meditation metaphor, it's really about the journey and not the destination. The goal really is engagement, like getting that excitement level, getting their enthusiasm, because when they bring that to their art, that's really 90% of the battle, because that provides focus necessary to achieve long-term meaningful results. So, one more. This was my drawing of Rosie. This was kind of like the final drawing I did of her, so it was like part of the at the end of the show. It's an example of the power of art to make fantasy a reality, and it's a good reminder that the power of art can take you anywhere that you really want to go. She had missed her summer camp that summer, and it was really bumming her out, and she was very kind of down about that. But she had this fantasy that she was going to ride her elephant Peanut through the gates of her through the gates of her summer camp and then take a selfie and post that online and show it to all her friends. So she had kind of mentioned that in passing, and I was like, all right, let's see if we can like make this happen. You know, you can't make it happen in real life, but you can make it happen with art. So that's kind of what we did with this drawing here. So, sorry, let me just. So we like to call Draw with Drew and Rosie a drawing play date. Put the kids in the driver's seat, and who knows where you'll end up. But it's definitely going to be a fun ride. And I thought maybe I would, latecomers. I mean, we can, if we want to open up to questions, we can do that, or I could actually play an episode if you guys haven't seen it. I don't know, how many people here have actually seen the show? Anybody? One person. Anyone? Oh, 2 people. Oh, 3. All right. Does anyone want to watch the show? You want to like see one? Let's see one. That'd be cool, right? Sorry, guys. Bear with me for a second. Oh.
Rosie.
I'm the creative director of Time for Kids.
And my mom's the editor-in-chief. Ever since I was little, Drew's been teaching me how to draw all of my favorite things.
We figured since a lot of you are home right now, we could all learn to draw together.
You can share your drawings with us online and tell us what you want to learn to draw.
We really want to thank our creativity partner, Adobe, for making this all possible. This is Draw with Drew.
And Rosie.
Welcome back, and thanks to everyone who sent in their dragon drawings. Those look great. We especially want to shout out Rama and Sean, who put in their request for dragons last week.
And we want to say hi to Mrs. Barr and her class in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Thanks for watching.
All right, Rosie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to do master copies, right?
Yes.
Master copy is something everybody does in art school. Doing a master copy is like the next best thing to taking a class from a really incredible artist. You're just kind of looking at things that inspire you and you're saying, oh, that's interesting. How can I take pieces of that and some of the skill that this person had and apply it to my own work?
Yeah.
So since it's hard to get out these days, we got to get creative where we can find a masterpiece that we can copy from.
Creative.
You can look at books, you can look online. There's a ton of museums that are doing virtual tours.
Ooh.
I know, it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
The British Museum in London, the Guggenheim.
Guggenheim.
Yeah, the Guggenheim. The National Gallery of Art in Washington, the Uffizi in Florence, the MoMA in New York. There's even apps out there that will take a photograph and then you can apply filters that make master copies out of the photographs. Like, you could take a picture of yourself and it makes it look like Van Gogh painted you.
That's so cool. I'm gonna be a masterpiece.
Yeah. So everyone at home, don't limit yourself. Just think of portrait painters, landscape painters, abstract artists, graffiti artists, book illustrators, photographers. Just remember that you define what makes a master. So if an image speaks to you, there's something to be learned from it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Rosie the Riveter poster.
That's perfect.
I was Rosie the Riveter for Halloween. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
But see, even just creating this costume is a piece of art, right? She's iconic. She means something to people, and so she's been emulated in 1,000 different ways. That's kind of what doing a master copy is all about, is just being inspired by a concept or an idea and making it your own.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the other Rosie the Riveter poster. An artist called Norman Rockwell. He did his own version of Rosie the Riveter. She's holding a lunchbox that says Rosie on it, and she's got a rivet gun.
What's a rivet gun?
A rivet gun is a piece of machinery that they would use to build ships and planes. That We Can Do It poster, it was created in 1942 for the war effort, right? Because all the men were at war, the women were the ones who were building all the tanks and planes.
Ooh.
So Norman Rockwell was inspired by the drawing that you're gonna do. But what's even more interesting is he based the pose of this painting off of a Michelangelo from the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, which was made in 1509.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. So he's actually doing a master copy of 2 different pieces of art.
Ooh.
Okay, Rosie, and everyone at home, let's get started. Take a look at what you've chosen and pick some materials that are gonna help you achieve exactly what you want.
Yes. I probably have to erase 1,000,000 times.
I do too. I have to erase all the time. But everyone out there, remember, it's okay to erase, it's okay to start over. If you see something you don't like, don't hesitate to change it. Just don't get discouraged, right? We're just learning.
Yeah. So, what do you like about Norman Rockwell?
I saw an original painting that he did, and I was just blown away by the technical skill that he had. But he was also a magazine artist.
Like you.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily want to paint the stuff that he painted, but I wanted to be able to learn what I could from his skill and apply it to the stuff that meant something to me.
I like that. Here's what I have so far.
Oh, wow. You know what I like? The polka dots, because it looks like you took a lot of time and effort to put those in there. Good job.
Thank you.
She's very determined, you know, and you want to capture that feeling.
Yeah, also her muscle.
Yeah, these jobs were physically demanding, and they really stepped up to the challenge, and that's what makes it such an iconic moment and why there's so much art that's surrounding this idea.
Women equality for all.
There you go. So let's check in on our art directors of the week and see how they're doing at home.
Let's see.
Hi, Drew and Rosie. My name is Rowan, and my favorite artist is Korei Harakoshi. And I really like his art form, manga, mostly just because it's really nice to imagine things from a world without this perpetual quarantine.
Hi, my name is Palmer. I recently went to a sculpture garden. I saw a rock sculpture and loved it. Inspired by Bill Dan, I am making my own rock sculpture using rock shells and a glue gun.
Hi, my name is Charlie and I love landscape. Inspired by Claude Monet, I want to paint a nighttime landscape of the sea.
What I'm going to try and draw is a self-portrait in the manga style. Right now I'm using colored pencils, a Sharpie pen. You don't need a really fancy artist pen to ink. A Sharpie pen will do just fine.
I'm going to be using a pencil, watercolors, and paper today.
Anyone can do this, you just need rocks and some imagination.
See you later, Drew and Rosie.
Oh, wow.
Those look good.
I'm always impressed with what we get every week. It's totally amazing.
Yeah, I think the good thing about what people are doing this week is it's all really diverse.
Yeah, you can do sculpture, or you can do drawing, or you can do painting. You can look at manga or comic books. You're just drawing whatever you like. That's what will keep you engaged and that will keep you learning.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm done.
Let's see it. Oh, wow. I love it. The color is what really captures it. There you go. Yeah. You know what's perfect is you got that tilt of her head that gives her a lot of attitude, right?
Yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, you want to see mine?
Yes.
Here it is.
Oh my
Rosie
god,
the
that's
Riveter.
so good.
Oh, thank you. I like that I'm copying an artist who was copying two other artists. It's like master copy times 4.
Dude.
So for everyone at home still working on their art, keep going, take your time, and share it with us when you're done. Thanks again to our creativity partner, Adobe. Don't forget.
That's kind of it. Anybody have any questions? We're almost out of time, but if anyone's got any quick questions at the end. Anybody out there? No?
What's your thinking about, like, are you guys gonna keep going?
Well, we would like to. Rosie's kind of aged out of it a little bit is the only problem. There's like that one little window where she was really enthusiastic about it, and now she's too big a star to come on my show at this point. Anybody else? I think we're pretty much out of time, right? What time? We got like 1 minute left. Yeah? If anybody else, no more questions, I guess that's kind of it. Thanks for coming, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to check in and learn about my buddy Rosie. Thanks, everyone.